Well, good morning. My goodness, I almost forgot how to do this. My goodness. When you spend some time in the hospital, it's like all the world stands still. Who did I miss in the pre-party? I see Claire has made it in. Flip-flops, Rexy, my girl. Chrissy, what's up, girl? Sonia. Sonia, thank you so much for your beautiful email. Hello, Harley Davidson. Hey, which one do you have? Yep, DT driver's home today taking care of me. I'm still very weak, and I'm trying to get over it. I am. Good morning. I didn't mean to scare you guys last Tuesday. On Friday, we had a members live. It was a lot of fun. Woo, I'll tell you what. And look at this right off the bat. GB, what you doing? You're gifting Crime Lines and Lies memberships? If you got a Crime Lines and Lies membership, you know who to thank. Woo, a lot was going on, my goodness. Again, I didn't mean to scare you guys last Tuesday when I shut the show down. I tell you what a crazy week it was. Let's first start with my health condition has nothing to do with football, even though I'm still super pissed that OSU lost to Utah. I'm still super pissed that OU lost to Tennessee. But over the weekend, it seems like we have resurrected ourselves. So it was a much better week. But I still cannot wait to see my husband publicly humiliate himself wearing that Tennessee hoodie, because that was the bet. You make a bet, you take the bet. Let's take a second and tell everyone hola. Britt said, how about them Vikings? Woo, let me tell you what, I messaged my son yesterday because he's a huge Green Bay fan. I said, are you watching this game? Our next door neighbor, too, his name's Donovan. He's the neighbor that OJ beats up on his dogs, and he wanted $800 for the nose scratches. And Greg told him to eat his dick. Anyway, we're friends now because we talk about football. I asked him how it was going to go yesterday when we saw him in the front yard, because I was just walking around and just trying to get some exercise, some fresh air. And he's like, well, oh no. So I messaged my son and I said, are you watching this game? The message was read and silence. But it seems my Chiefs did really good. Yeah, Greg's a great neighbor. Great neighbor. But boy, a lot of stuff has been going on. I have not been talking about Sebastian very much, just because it seems like the case isn't about Sebastian anymore. It seems to be, in my opinion, the Seth show. Now, I am not going to play the shoulda, woulda, coulda game. Like, well, if Seth had done more, Sebastian would be here. That's stupid. That's really stupid, because Sebastian didn't live with him. He basically would see him every other weekend. But so much has been going on. First off, let me address a couple of things that are personal. I've gotten several messages, and I love you guys. I do. First off, thank you so much for the flowers. Thank you. Thank you so much. I was so shocked when I got home and got them. Yesterday was National Sons Day. Yes, there is a holiday called National Sons Day. There's also one called National Daughters Day, as if we don't do enough for our children. So I sent this to all three of my sons yesterday. Are you guys ready? It's a tearjerker. I'm actually going to do the breaking news music for this. This is what I sent my children yesterday. Happy National Sons Day. This could also be Happy Husband's Day. I always had an issue with my children leaving piss on the toilet seat, on the floor, you name it. So that is exactly what I sent my sons yesterday. Any boy moms in here, you know what I'm talking about. And they were like, figures, Mom. Figures you would do that. Well, I mean, what the hell else am I supposed to do? Yeah, look at the pee on the seat. Didn't flush. So that is my homage to my wonderful children. All right, so I've had a few questions asking what happened last week, everything like that. I thought by now everyone knew. Now, I had this comment today from Goldstar846. I do not know who this person is, and I apologize. It seems like I have forgotten a lot of stuff in the last couple of months. I haven't been feeling well. It says, yep, I love Brooke's humor and hard work, but the high school drama she is bringing to her channel is hard to sit here and watch because she isn't inclusive. I have asked gently and kindly what happened to her with no reply. Well, I was in the hospital, okay? I've been unplugged. That's really what was going on. And if anyone in here feels like I'm ignoring you or you don't feel included in something, just let me know. I'm very easy to get a hold of. I promise I am. You may not get a response in a quick second, but I promise one way or another, I'm going to get a hold of you. I can't tell you how many people I've been like, here's my phone number. It's my real phone number, by the way. So this woman, her feelings are hurt. And I feel bad. I'm not going to lie, I do. Because she says I'm not inclusive. She says I've asked gently and kindly what happened to her with no reply, but she has plenty of time to indulge in this nonsense. I don't know what nonsense she's talking about. I kind of feel like I have a right to defend myself against things. If people want me to sit in the corner and shit and sit in it, then I guess I will. But I kind of feel that I have a right to defend myself when people do stupid stuff. Hell, people know how to get a hold of my husband. Good Lord. Indulge in this nonsense, but not take the time to inform her loyal followers about what happened. She doesn't even get your post. And the truth is, a lot of times I don't. Okay? A lot of times I don't. My notifications are all screwy. So like on the community tab, if people are replying to people, I don't get it. I don't get it. And sometimes YouTube does not notify me of messages. Just like sometimes YouTube doesn't notify you when people are live. She doesn't even get your posts. I didn't want to post anything negative, but I think it's important for her to see that she drives people away being exclusive with her payroll crew. The fuck? The fuck? Hold on. Hold on. Who's getting a paycheck around here? Mermaid, did you get a check? Let's see. Kamari, did you get a check? Damn sure no Gaelic and Cat didn't. Preschool Granny, did you get a check? Where's this payroll crew? The fuck's going on here? The subs grow the channel too, depending, and I hate the word subs. Everyone knows that. I hate the word subs. It means subservient. It means like you follow someone and don't have your own mind. I prefer friends. Touch of Class says, I want to check. No shit, I do too. The fuck's going on here? Depending what reply she gives to this will determine whether this sub stays or goes. It's up to her. I'm not trying to grow a channel. I thought I had replied over and over as to what was going on. I went to the hospital last Tuesday when I was doing the show about Maddie Soto. Poppy Red Mustang is my check in the mail. Oh, you better believe it. Don't cash that shit too fast. DT driver. So I want a check. DT driver, I have a check. It's from you. I get it every Friday. I had a blood clot. I thought I was having a heart attack on Tuesday. All right. That's it. This is what they found after extensive blood work. It's called a D-dimer. I had a blood clot. They started poking my belly full of blood thinner. I'm still on blood thinner, still not feeling 100%, but I will get there. I actually took a video of myself being taken to another hospital. Look at this. This is after I tried to check myself out of the hospital. How far is it over there?
Probably just like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. 10, 15. Not very far.
I just didn't know if I was going to the downtown campus or another one.
It's like 91st and 169.
Oh, okay.
Because we're going to St. Francis South.
Okay. And the only reason I took that was to send to my husband because he didn't believe I was going to go to the other hospital. And he was trying to declare me crazy. And anyway, I think my house shoes are cute, though. Look at those. Those are Kansas City cheap. They're all sparkly. Look. How far is it over there?
Probably just like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. 10, 15. Not very far.
I just didn't know if I was going to the downtown campus or another one.
It's like 91st and 169.
Oh, okay.
Because we're going to St. Francis South.
Okay. Barb Murray, thank you. Penny, hang on. She said, bless your heart, I'm on Eliquis after having a DVT at 38 and another one in 2021. That's the reason I have to go to this vascular clinic. Because I'm not going tomorrow. I'm going next Tuesday. Because they said you can start throwing blood clots a lot. Here's the problem. As you know, people have been running from channel to channel to channel to channel saying I'm an alcoholic. Well, alcohol thins your blood. Thor, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. I have to agree with your husband. Can he have you legally committed? Asking for a friend. Well, he tried Thor, and I've missed you a lot. I'm glad you're here, Thor. You know, you were our idiot of the week a couple months ago, and you never claimed your t-shirt. But I'm glad you're here. Love your insults. They actually make me chuckle. No, he tried, but I decided to comply and go to the other hospital. People say, well, why couldn't you stay at that hospital? Well, when you live in what's called a rural community, our hospitals, you don't stay in overnight. They have to transport you somewhere else. If you know, you know. All right, speaking of craziness, my goodness, my friends, what is going on around here? Dwayne, Dog Chapman. Does Summer Wells' father, Don Wells, have a familial relationship with Sebastian's mother? Now, some people are saying this is said wrong, that it was a mistype. He means familiar relationship. Either or, what makes sense about this post? What makes sense? I don't understand this at all. Sebastian went missing in February of 2024. Summer has been missing since June of 2021. I know some people have said, oh, he's clout chasing. He's trying to be relevant again. I mean, you name it, the whole 9 yards, whatever it is, it is. I honestly am liking this because it seems that in Tennessee, Summer Wells has been forgotten. So for him to put this out, even though it's total BS, it actually brings Summer Wells' name back out. Okay? This was posted over the weekend. Mike Tyson was in Nashville for some sort of meet and greet. Super duper. A lot of people are big Mike Tyson fans. However, if you read the comments, you see people going, he's there to find Sebastian. I know Iron Mike's gonna find Sebastian. Listen. I am not saying that Sebastian is not important. I've already been accused of that one. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. I'm going to flat out say that Mike Tyson has no idea who Sebastian is. I don't think he follows true crime because, well, if you get in the ring with him, he is true crime. So we can put that one to rest. Damn. It would be great if it was true because I have a feeling old Mike Tyson knows how to get answers out of people. Then this came out. All righty. We have served the first round of notices and anticipated federal protective orders to individuals and social media platforms as outlined. At this time, we will not make the notices public. We strongly encourage these individuals to engage legal counsel and heed the advice of their respective attorneys. Given the serious nature of the allegations, the repercussions could range from monetary damages to criminal charges. Additional notices will be delivered throughout the week. Who is hurting whose feelers? That's what I want to know. Who's doing it? Because remember, back in the spring, there was a list of cease and desist orders. Could it be SF Investigates? Because he's been going hard after Seth. And we're going to talk about Summer today, too. He put out September 16th on X, formerly known as Twitter. Are you going to discuss Seth getting a girl under 15 pregnant when he was 22 and taking off for Georgia and having her have an abortion, while he was also involved with a different 13-year-old? Or are you cool with child R? Okay. Some people say he needs to be shut down. If this is the information that has been given to him, then that's what he's going to put out. My question is, the people that went after Don Wells, left and right, saying, I can't believe what he did to his stepsisters, can't believe he stole panties when he was 40, can't believe, there's always been speculation about how Summer was treated, but they are ignoring Seth's past. There's different arguments here. Listen, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What Seth did in the past has nothing to do with Sebastian. I can agree with that. I don't think Seth has anything to do with it. This is what happens, though, when you smear mud. It's going to splash back on you.
I'm just hoping for a positive outcome from this.
Since February, Seth Rogers has actively searched and advocated for his missing 15-year-old son, Sebastian Rogers. Sebastian went missing from his home in Hendersonville in February and has not been seen since. Earlier this month, Dwayne Chapman, better known as Dog the Bounty Hunter, and his team joined in on the search for Sebastian.
They bring an investigative team and they bring a legal team. And all.
Okay, my question is, and I want to hear from all of you. If anybody wants to grab the link, go ahead. Why would you want to shut anyone up? I've seen lots of community posts with people saying, I'm moving out of this case. If we can't speak freely and give our opinion, then there's no reason keeping Sebastian's name out there. Next, all you're going to have is Nick Barris, who he touches on it like maybe once a month, and that will peter away. I had a very, very interesting email saying, how come people lost their minds when Chris and Katie filed protective orders? But when Seth does cease and desist to shut people up, they're okay with that, but the protective orders upset them. This is a very important conversation, in my opinion. It really is.
All of those things are things that were desperately needed.
Dog is also offering a $100,000 reward to anyone with information.
This is not the first rodeo for me finding a missing child.
But Dog and Seth say they have faced online.
Okay, I very rarely, as Candace says, look at the tweets, look at the X, okay? I don't look at it. I did see some really interesting comments from people saying there is nothing to show that Dog the Bounty Hunter has ever found a missing child. He is truly a bounty hunter. Beth, may she rest in peace, his wife that passed away, she was the investigator. She would basically say, go this way. And that's where he would go. And they wrangled up a lot of people. As far as finding a missing child, I don't know. I can say anything that comes into this case gets turned to shit. And it's horrible. It is horrible for Sebastian. And let's just say Katie, who was home that night with him, absolutely has nothing to do with it. Hard to believe, but let's just say. Imagine the disservice that is done to justice by people being told to STFU and don't say a word about Sebastian Rogers anymore.
And threats that go beyond opinions.
It's really bad. I mean, they have threatened, Seth's family.
What Lesniak is doing.
Now, if someone has threatened Seth or his family, then you get a protective order. A cease and desist isn't going to work. That's a threat. There must have been some. Now, my husband will disagree. My husband says there's got to be some kind of pull with the Proud Feets that they would get that protective order done against Betty. If you feel threatened, you get a protective order. But Tony, Grand Lake Tony, keeps saying that there's threats against Seth and his family. What family? What are they talking about? He threatened his own mama and told her to quit talking to people on social media. Told her to quit. He told people on Pascal's show she's crazy.
Seth's family.
What Lesniak is doing is he is issuing cease and desists with a copy of the federal injunctions attached as a warning shot.
The law
Federal injunctions? Do what? Federal injunctions? Now, I'm not believing this. Okay? I'm not believing that they actually have federal injunctions stapled to anything. It's what's called a nasty lawyer letter. It goes out and it just says, keep talking about my ass and I'm going to sue your ass. Federal injunction? No. That would be in court, and it wouldn't exactly be a Zoom court. Federal injunctions. That where I come from, just saying that would get you chin checked.
Injunctions attached as a warning shot.
The law offices of Joseph Lesniak, representing Seth Rogers, Tony Mathis, and Dog the Bounty Hunter, as well as several other individuals, cites 11 reasons for the cease and desist letter. Some of the examples include the encouragement of false allegations, flooding of false leads, undermining reward credibility, and interference.
Okay, flooding of false leads and interference. All of those leads need to go to the number that is scrolling at the bottom. It says Sebastian is missing. Please call 800 TBI find with credible information. 50K reward offered. Some people say, oh, you forget about the $100,000 that dog put up. You forget about it. You forget about what dogs put up and Tony and all these other people. Listen, I don't know how much money they have. The FBI is offering 50K, okay? That's what I'm sticking with. Could you imagine if I jumped on here and I said, hey, Kiki. Kiki just popped in. I said, hey, Kiki, guess what? I'm offering my house as collateral for information to find Sebastian. You all would shit and fall back in it. You'd be like, good one, Brooks. Sure. 50K is what the FBI is offering. That's how serious this is.
With the search operation. Lesniak says going forward, he recommends social media users explicitly state that they are sharing their opinion, not fact.
We believe that this happened. My opinion is I allegedly, this is what I've heard. Those types of words then clue listeners into, okay, this is not fact. This is somebody's opinions.
Okay. I mean, wouldn't it be everyone's opinion? Wouldn't it be everyone's opinion? None of us have a file. None of us are investigators. Sad to say. I know some YouTubers, creators, podcasters, whatever you want to call people, they will present to you that they have the inside knowledge. I've got a theory. We all have opinions. So send out all the nasty lawyer letters you want. But it's a red flag to me that you don't want people talking about Sebastian. How come the only people that get them are people like this that are pointing out Seth's dirty deeds? I don't understand it. I mean, why? Goodness. My opinion allegedly is that I believe all three of them failed this poor baby. I really do. I think he was treated like a problem. I think he was treated like he was in the way. Hang on. D said, no, Brooks, that's not true. D, who else got him? I've only heard from a few people that have gotten him, and they are people that have pointed out Seth. So educate me, please. And Pat K, thank you for gifting the Crime Lines and Lies memberships.
Lesniak tells me continued legal action will be dependent on the response of the recipients and what his clients ultimately decide.
We are going to take every single one of these online troublemakers, bullies, or whatever that is, all the way to the woodshed, legally.
Okay. Dog is saying that they're going to take all the online troublemakers to the woodshed legally. I'm going to put the link down. Someone needs to explain this to me. Hang on. D goes, they are not shutting their mouths in Sebastian, Wayne, Drake, Rogers. It's the vile, nasty threats and misinformation. Fair enough. Fair enough. That I understand. The problem is sometimes even the misinformation gets people talking. I'm not saying it's right. But we are all misled by the media, by YouTube, by the internet, you name it. So as people are talking, it creates an algorithm that keeps a name out. And I want to know who does dog's hair too, because it's awesome. I'm going to get Greg's hair done that way.
Opinions.
Lesniak tells me continued legal action will be dependent on the response of the recipients and what his clients ultimately decide.
We are going to take every single one of these online troublemakers, bullies, or whatever that is, all the way to the woodshed, legally.
If you have any information, you're asked to call Dogs Tip Line, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, TBI, or your local FBI office. Those numbers are on our website.
Okay, this is really important. Listen to these numbers again. Nobody is mentioning Tony. Nobody is mentioning Dog. Nobody is mentioning the law firm. Listen to these numbers.
If you have any information, you're asked to call Dogs Tip Line, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, TBI.
Okay, never mind. She did mention Dogs Tip Line. That's what I get for paying attention.
Or your local FBI office. Those numbers are on our website at WKRN.com.
All right, super. Paper Sled said SF blames Sebastian for calling CPS on Chris. 100% fact. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in the world. We already know that Chris had a foul taste about Sebastian. We know he was trying to get custody of his daughter. We know from hearing from not just one, but 3 neighbors, things were witnessed that weren't cool. So the best thing for him to do is just keep growing that damn mullet and shutting up. But yes, it has been 7 months now. And this is from WKRN since Sebastian went missing.
County still missing now 7 months later, and several agencies and groups have searched for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, but there's been no new information from law enforcement. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry spoke with Sebastian's biological father about the search timeline and its progress.
7 months have come and gone.
The search for missing Sumner County teen Sebastian Rogers.
15-year-old Sebastian Rogers. He believes Sebastian.
Where could he be? He's only 15. I've been asking the same question about Summer Wells for almost over 3 years. I shouldn't say almost, over 3 years. I've been asking this since my first show about Summer, June 16th, 2021. Where could she be? Now, as parents, hello, Candace Prim. As parents, if you can't find your child, do you stop looking? Who would just stop looking? And I'm really tired of the photo ops, not just in this case, but many. Really tired of the people saying, well, I haven't seen anything on YouTube, so I'm going to say they're not looking. All right. Good enough. Not everything has to be on your damn phone. Doesn't work that way. It's really okay to take care of your family privately and not put it on the damn internet. It actually makes things more dangerous for everyone involved. In my opinion, allegedly.
Sebastian is still alive.
With no sight of missing Sumner County teen Sebastian Rogers.
Is it 7 months? It's almost been, after 6 months. I mean, it's just like I thought we would have found him by now.
No shit. Just like Summer. I thought over the weekend he would turn up. I really did. Poof. Vanished. Evaporated. How can that happen? How can that happen? Nerdy Girl said, do you really think they have searched though, Brooks? Couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. And all this Team Proudfoot, Team Seth, I can't stand it. I just can't. I've had so many people reach out to me and they're like, listen. I was out searching for Sebastian and all Seth did was sit there in his truck smoking cigarettes. Well, maybe he needed a break. I don't know. I wasn't there. People say, well, they ran off to Mississippi. But then on the other side, they say, well, because the Proud Feets, they felt like they were being threatened. They couldn't be in their own home. It take a lot, and I mean a lot, to run me out of my home.
Month one was intense for the first half of it. It seemed like there was a lot of people that were on board trying to find Sebastian. And then after that, it became a circus.
15-year-old Sebastian Rogers went missing from his home in Hendersonville on February 26th. Several agencies spent more than a week searching the area around his home, including a landfill in Kentucky. Which, by the way, they're not just going to trip into, okay? At this point, when they start searching landfills, it's because they believe they're looking for a deceased body. So let's look at the facts. In any case we have spoken about over the last 3+ years, 5 if you want to count the Facebook groups, any time they scale back a search, it's because they have information that we don't have. They have some sort of intel that's telling them there's no point in poking around in the woods anymore. We got to do something different. And that scares the bejesus out of me when they do that.
Tonight, the Henderson. Well, teenager out of Sumner County still missing now, 7.
The United Cajun Navy came in to help, but in less than a week, pulled back their search efforts after several threats.
Just because you pick up a phone and start recording, you can either help with that or you can hinder.
Since they scaled back the search, Sumner County law enforcement have not reported any new information.
We get tips and stuff that were coming in. We didn't know if law enforcement was following up on them or not. And now that we have Dog's team, he has a whole team of attorneys, lawyers, private investigators.
The FBI recently announced a $50,000 reward for information following that announcement. Dog the Bounty Hunter joined in on the search, raising that reward to $100,000. But for now, Seth Rogers holds on to the hope that his son is still alive.
And every day I wake up hoping that I get the phone call today that, hey, we found Sebastian.
And clings to the 15 years of memories he shared with Sebastian.
I remember changing diapers. I remember making him bottles. I remember taking him swimming. I remember taking him fishing.
In Nashville, Caitlin Quisenberry, News 2.
I don't care who you are, but that's going to break your heart. I don't think Seth is the most gifted orator, but when you hear a daddy going, I remember changing diapers, bottles, it's really hard not to hear that and, hit that primitive nerve of yours as a parent and say, fuck, who wouldn't try anything? Karen said, Chris Proudfoot gets a call at 6:03 a.m. and continues to work till 11. You know why? Because he doesn't give a shit. He didn't like Sebastian. That's the reason he called him Katie's retard. Don't come after me and say not to use the R word. That's what he called him. It's been verified by 3 different people in that neighborhood. Doesn't tell his job that his stepson is missing. Gets home at 1:30. But was able to call the sheriff and Seth and his family up in a crane. Also, not phone call, but a text to Seth. We got to be fair on each side. Don't be mad, but Sebastian's missing. Every time I hear the word missing, I lose my mind in these cases. I lose my mind. Nobody is ever going to think that their child is missing. Can't find. That's something you say. I've brought it up many times on this show. I think about when Scott Peterson called Sharon Rocha and said, have you seen Lacey? She was like, no. She's expecting them for dinner. It's Christmas time. He goes, well, she's missing. She gets pissed. She's like, missing? What are you talking about? There's no, have you heard from Lacey? Oh, she's missing. Missing is an absolute. Seth was on this show several months ago. He said that was the text he got saying he's missing. Well, go figure. All right, well, I hate to get dirty, but I'm going to have to because a lot of you have been emailing me and messaging me. A very good friend of mine, Aggie, and yes, this ties into Sebastian. If you want to beat up on me in the comments later, that's fine. A good friend of mine named Aggie, she sent a message to someone else on Facebook. This person, thinking she's doing a good deed, sent it to Trevor Lee. Trevor, instead of just being like, look, I know Aggie, don't worry about it, okay? I'm not ragging on Aggie, but Aggie has stage 3 kidney disease, okay? She had a heart attack on our show. Trevor came on a couple of days later and said a prayer for Aggie. Aggie was his mod for a while. He was in Discord with her. He was in the mod group with her. But he took this information and he went to another channel, Chasing. Okay? And I'm not mad at her because she doesn't know Aggie. She don't know what the hell's going on. But this is what was put out. And I have to put this to rest because I'm really tired of Aggie being beat up about this.
She's got her little moderators running around.
I've got my little moderators running around. Bullshit.
Let me read you something. Sorry, do your homework on Trevor Lee. He's a fraud. That's why he really left YouTube. He was getting ready to be exposed by a YouTube channel, and that's why he hurried up and left.
Okay, I'm only going to give a little bit of attention to this, just because I don't want Aggie bothered anymore about it, okay? This is a private conversation she had with another person. If that's her opinion, that's her opinion as to why Trevor left YouTube. Trevor told us in Discord that he left YouTube because a channel called Illuminati, and I'll drop the link if anybody wants to come up and confirm the conversation that he put out there, that he had to get an attorney to fight this woman off and her fiance, and that they even threatened him with a pew-pew and shot off his mom's mailbox. Now, this woman chasing, I've talked to her one time, and that was on Daisy's panel. I kept getting muted, so I couldn't exactly get my words out, but hey, that's okay. That's her panel. I don't care. Again, I'm not fighting with this woman because she doesn't know Aggie and she doesn't know the history. That should have been brought to her in the first place. It should have never been put out. Aggie is in assisted living. Aggie has stage 3 kidney disease. DT driver, what are you doing super chatting me? I love you.
He lied about being married and lied about putting up $2,000 into a fund towards summer wells. You can contact Brooks if you don't believe me. This is one of her moderators. The person responds back, I don't know him personally. I just know he's done some good flyers and that. I have never heard he was married. I thought he said he was keeping $2,000 for a reward of his own money if Summer was found.
I've never heard Trevor was married. But remember, there's a lot of riffraff that goes on behind the scenes. And a lot of people say things to people that they, it's just talk. It's just talk. I am concerned that Trevor ran to this woman because I didn't know who she was. Not that I should, okay? I mean, we're not talking about Matthew McConaughey here. Because someone has a YouTube channel doesn't mean that they're famous, okay? I don't know these people. But he always had an issue with her because she's a Wells supporter. So why did he run to her with information? The woman that was in the conversation wouldn't have known because she doesn't know Aggie, but he does. In my opinion, this is basically picking on an older person. I mean, I'm sorry to say it, it is. It's crazy. Ooh, look at that. Mr. Pookie's grandma, she's been a member for 12 months, and she said, do some actual searches, dog. I can't even tell you how much I'm loving that comment.
I didn't hear that he actually sent it to anybody. Interesting. The woman writes back.
I have to apologize if you, I'm not ignoring anyone's messages. I promise I'm not. I have a lag on this side and I'm just not feeling 100%. So please just give me a couple weeks. I promise. Okay. The woman writes back.
It's all lies. He's a pedo. Oh my God. Just even reading it again is making me crazy right now. It's all lies. He's a pedo. That's why Seth Rogers got into that with Trevor Lee. He found out the truth. It was.
In all fairness, should Seth be throwing any mud balls at Trevor? And no, I don't think Trevor is a pedo at all. Okay, again, this is a private conversation. Someone thought they were doing a good deed, and they sent it to Chasing, who made a show out of it. But somehow, while I was in the hospital, it blew up on me. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I'm not part of the conversation. This is the same man, Trevor. If he wants accountability, he can come up. That had us all convinced that Mermaid had all kinds of fake apps setting him up for shit he said. All you have to do is say, yeah, I said it. You can be wrong. It's okay. You can be wrong, I promise.
Wasn't because of Tony. I'm going to cover something here. Hold on. Because I don't know if he wants this person's name out there.
Well, she didn't cover it. That's Aggie's name. That is her full government effing name. Now, when the woman that was in the conversation with Aggie confronted Trevor and said, why did you do this? Why did you do this? He goes, well, that's the name she uses on YouTube. What's it matter? He knows Aggie. He knows she's on home dialysis. He knows she has stage 3 kidney disease. He knows these things. This is nothing new. He knows that. She is getting some of the craziest messages from people. And here she is trying to get herself healthy. She can't even have her shoulder surgery done. You know why? Because they can't get her vitals good enough to get her under anesthesia. But he knows her. If this is something someone sent to you and they're like, oh, by the way, I need someone to get in or get out because we're at 666. If someone sends you something, you're like, what the hell is this? Who is this person? He knows her. He knows her. He knows her. On a Sunday afternoon, we were getting blown up with messages, stuff that Trevor had said. My husband messaged him because he thinks they're buddies. He thinks they're cool. And he goes, I haven't said anything about you or your wife. Okay, we're fine with that. Then I had something else come to me. And I'm like, I know you didn't say these things. By the way, it's okay if he did. Because as adults and as friends, we just get past it. It happens all the damn time. It's okay. It's okay. Anyone in here perfect? Anyone in here ever had a misunderstanding? And all he said was that the neighbor I had on wasn't real. Because he said he's talked to all the neighbors. I gave him the man's phone number and his name and his address. Then he said something about how when I was asking about when Dawn Wells said that they wanted Robin to become a foster parent to take the 3 boys so they could see him. That's been verified by Don himself now. But he said I made the whole thing up. I didn't make it up. I didn't make it up. I don't know these people. I heard the same rumor as other people. Leave this lady alone.
It wasn't because of Tony. Clue and her husband hired a private investigator, found out, and told the truth to Brooks.
Okay, right here is where Aggie is confused because I've never talked to Cluminati or her husband. Matter of fact, after what Trevor said, that he had to get a protective order against this family and they blew off his mom's mailbox, all this stuff. No, I'm not going to talk to them. Why would I? No. And I damn sure don't have a private investigator. Shit, no. Hell, even when my ex-husband was cheating on me, I damn sure didn't get a private investigator because I already fucking knew.
Is that right, bitch? You hired a private investigator?
No, I didn't. I didn't hire a private investigator. Nope. Nope. Nope.
And spread this? You better hope that that's not true, you little racist motherfucker.
Why do I keep getting called a damn racist? The hell's going on here? Aggie, you're not going anywhere and you didn't do anything wrong. You had a private conversation. Here, let me try to call Aggie because she's upset. Rightfully so. She knew this was going to be brought up. Let me see if she'll answer. I'm not a racist. Getting so sick of being called a racist. Good Lord. Who is this woman to call me a racist?
Hello?
Hey, Aggie, you know that you have a ton of people in here, 660,
I'm not a racist.
that love you.
A racist. I hear you.
Okay, you have your app on, baby.
Just wanted to call me a racist.
Okay, Trev Time is in here saying I need help. All right, let me put the link up. All I know is what I have heard. So, I mean, Trev Time, if you want to come up, no one's going to be mean to you. I mean, all you have to do is just say, this is what happened. It's ridiculous. I don't have a private investigator. I've never talked to Cluminati. Trev Time said, yeah, and she's going to have a lawsuit too. Really? For what? 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 What are you talking about? I mean, are you okay?
What in God's name is this bullshit here? Are you out of your mind, bitch? Oh, they did, yeah.
Can't unmute because they chose to mute themselves. Oh, hang on. Granny's watching said, you're not even comprehending this correctly, yet we're supposed to take your word. She's calling Clue a racist and hiring a PI, not you. Then I did. I totally heard it wrong. I apologize. Hey, Trevor, what's up, man?
Hi, you got your mod going around telling people I'm a pedo.
Who? Who is saying that?
Aggie, you saw the messages yourself.
Okay, so why am I being drugged into it? She had a private conversation with someone. Why am I being?
It came from you. Your own mod said it came from you. You need to ask her why you're brought into it.
You know how to get a hold of me. You know my phone number. You know how to get.
That's not what I said. We're not playing word salad. What I said was your mod
Well,
said it came from you. Your mod said it came from you.
Well, it didn't. So enough.
Well, take that up with her because she's going around forcing you for a slanderous comment.
It is slanderous, and I have to. And you know her. You know her.
I don't.
The hell you don't, Trevor. You have asked me about her for years, and I have said, listen, she's in assisted living. She has stage 3 kidney cancer. Hell, you were on here, Trevor. You prayed for her.
And then she turns around and sources you for calling me a pedophile.
But I didn't. So how about that?
We're just going to take your word for it? She just made that up, that it came from you?
I guess so. She's already made it clear. Aggie was a mod for you. Why?
Very unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, how horrible. You had us all believing that Mermaid had some sort of crazy app setting you up for something. And I took your word for it.
You're equating random YouTube drama to slander. We're not talking about random messages with Mermaid who tried to ask us all questions to get messages to send you. I'm talking about the slanderous comments that came directly from you to Aggie to send to other people.
Did not come from me. Did not come from me. We have never had that conversation. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Why didn't you get a hold of Aggie directly and say, why are you saying this? Instead, you go to Chasing, who you have never liked because she's a Wells supporter. Those are your words, not mine.
Those are not my words, but okay. I mean,
okay,
see,
let's go through your message to me when I asked who she was, because I was on a panel with her, and you said, never mind her, she's a Wells supporter. So you didn't say that, or were you hacked again? Okay, well, he dropped out.
So the woman writes back, well, Seth was with Katie at a young age, so I'm not sure why he's worried about anybody that's a pedo. Okay. Not much of a difference between Seth and Dawn Wells. The person writes back, right, I understand. This is his son, and Trevor is pedo with 13. With 13. Oh, really? Okay. I believe that was the age of his victim. The woman writes back.
Trevor isn't going to talk. Okay, he's not. But he's allowed to come up and talk anytime he wants. People want the truth. I will speak the truth. And guess what? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's easy to say, no, Brooks, that's not what happened. But he is under this falsehood that I sent all this to Aggie. No. Greg, don't be calling Trevor anymore. I actually really like Trevor, and I understand that friends can have misunderstandings and get over it. It doesn't have to come to this.
He was allegedly a victim himself, I think he said. She writes back, all I know, he was babysitting.
Okay, this was something that supposedly another channel was going to put out. This did not come from me. Granny's watching. Brooks, respectfully, your mod blamed you, so the anger should be directed at her. I've talked to her, honey. I have. And yes, Trevor, if this was put out publicly, has every reason to be upset. But he brought it to another creator. He brought it to her. He could have easily spoken to me. He could have easily spoken to her. Hang on, Beck. I see I'm messing up your live at Brooks. I can leave. No, Beck, you're not going anywhere. No. Goodness, no. But I'm just not going to sit there and hear that I've been saying these things that I didn't. And if Aggie is confused between having stage 3 cancer, I'm sorry, kidney disease, then, come on. This woman had a heart attack on our live one time. I had to call her daughter to make her go to the hospital. Can we all understand that? Granny's watching. By the way, love your show. Oh, I thought the mod message Chasing. No, Trevor sent it to her. All right, so if Dog the Bounty Hunter wants to get in deep with Dawn Wells and he wants to dig, then he needs to look at a few things. Okay? Don Wells has done some nasty, nasty things. And I am not here to say that Don Wells did anything to his daughter, but he has done plenty else.
Hello there. I've been following Summerwell's case since the beginning, and I felt like going over some of the disturbing things which have been said by Summerwell's father, Don Wells. As heartbreaking as they may be, I do believe they are important when it comes to understanding the brain of one of the main suspects. Number 1. Giving props to his now adult daughter for not complaining about getting raped on her 18th birthday.
Okie doke. When Don Wells spit that out and said, when his daughter, and again, this is for Dog the Bounty Hunter, if he wants to hear it, someone can send it to him. Obviously, he's easy to get a hold of. Obviously. When he said his daughter at 18 sucked it up and didn't cause no problems for no one. About threw up. Baby Kisses said, I said you did. You didn't. You always have Trevor's back. Still do, by the way. Still do. Still do, because I know how these things get lost in translation.
As soon as she turned 18, he raped her on her 18th birthday.
This is Don Wells talking. I hate to cross cases, but since Dog the Bounty Hunter on a very public platform brought up Don Wells having a familial relationship with Katie Proudfoot, I was like, I don't really know what you're stepping in.
Jesus. Yeah, because he knew once she turned 18, there wasn't a whole lot she could do about it or whatever. On her 18th fucking birthday. Pretty crazy. There was things she could do, but she didn't go crying. She don't go crying and for all attention and blah, blah, blah. She dealt with it. I got to give my daughter props on that.
Number 2. If Dawn said just one harsh word to Summer, she would break down crying.
If I said one little word to her, she would just start crying, and I'd have to apologize 10 times. Say, Summer, I'm sorry. I didn't, she would just, it killed her if I said anything like that.
Number 3. Bringing to words the most vicious acts which he thinks might have been done to his missing daughter.
Somebody has hurt her, probably sexually, maybe beat the fuck out of her, probably killed her.
Number 4. Not wishing prison upon the person who took his daughter.
So what do you think should happen? What do you think should happen? I have to leave it to God, and I know what prison's like. And I have mercy for anybody who's in prison, because you're lucky if you get out of there alive. Yeah. Anyway. So would you want to see this person in prison? I don't know if I could do that, to be honest with you. Yeah.
What parent could say that? Do you want this person in prison? Oh, I don't know if I could do that. Sounds like Beavis and Butthead. Oh, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that, to be honest with you. Why? Who in here with a missing child, would seriously say they don't want the person in prison?
It just depends on all the circumstances,
Number 5. Going on and on about how much Summer loved him instead of the other way around.
Yeah, she had to be by me. She just had to be by me. That's her personality. Yeah. No. Yeah, she loves me to death. We had such a great love for each other. She loved me, and I don't know why I've never had someone love me that much in my life. And so it's been awesome, between me and her. And so it has killed me. She didn't want her mother. She only wanted me. I just couldn't believe it. She only wanted me. So I've never had anybody love me like that. She says, but Daddy, I just want to be with you.
Number 6. He always knew something would happen to her.
Don has always had an issue with the way he deals with his daughters, not his sons. Okay? That's why I hope if Dog the Bounty Hunter, not Don, gets involved, I hope he digs deep. I hope he digs deep, deep, deep. I hope he gets all into the nitty-gritty. And what we know is only scratching the surface of Don Wells' nastiness. People saying he doesn't know better. You're telling me that at 40 years old, he didn't know it was improper or illegal to steal panties and go play with himself? Listen to how he talks about his oldest daughter. She just sucked it up. She didn't cause no problems for no one. Now he's talking about Summer. I always knew something would happen to her.
I just always had this feeling that something's going to happen to her. I've always knew that something was going to happen to Summer. It's something in my gut has always told me.
Number 7. Blaming the children.
They're all glued to their damn TV and their games on their phones. He just started crying. I don't even remember what I said to him or what. And he says, Dad, it's not my fault. And he was crying. I said, I know, son. I know it's not your fault. What was your other boy saying? I told my wife that if he would have went downstairs with Summer like she wanted him to, she probably wouldn't be gone. He feels like he's kind of guilty.
A lot of times the boys would be inside and we'd be like, where's Summer? Why'd you leave her out there alone? Go get Summer now. And that's happened over and over again.
I don't know why, but they're dealing with it okay more than me. And they're doing a lot better than me and Candace are. Mm-hmm. Not why that is, but I don't know.
She loved to be outside all the time. That was her, unfortunately, her downfall.
Number 8. Sexualizing a 12-year-old.
That little girl right there, I think her at the park. That poor little girl, she's got a body from hell. I think all kind of black.
In this same conversation, and I've seen all kinds of black people over her at the park. People want to call me racist? He's out of his damn mind. People in here want to take up for Trevor, which I totally understand. Remember when Don called Trevor the N-word and said he was going to bury him? Yet he runs to a woman that defends Don? You got to be kidding me.
All over the park. She'll be pregnant. She ain't pregnant.
How old is she?
What, 13? How old?
Wait, is she half black?
12.
She's 12. She's 12, and he's sexualizing a 12-year-old. I hope Seth's camp is ready for this. I really hope they're ready. If they're going to dig into the case of Summer Wells, I hope they're ready. Eat your Wheaties, drink your orange juice, get ready, because you're going to find some nastiness that you never expected to hear out of a father's mouth.
Number 9. Claiming he knows where Summer's at.
Man, because my daughter's probably on the fucking streets right now somewhere. And nobody's listening to me.
Donnie, we can't do anything.
I know where she's at. She's in a fucking motel room somewhere with some fucking weirdo. Fucking some motherfucker trying to sell her for a little bit of crack cocaine. I know how it works. Somewhere hold up in a fucking motel room.
Donnie, stop letting your fucking mind go there, okay?
I've already been there. I've seen
Stop
it.
it.
I'm just telling you what I'm telling you what I've seen with my own eyes.
I believe that you have seen this.
Number 10. Again, more disturbing ideas on what might have happened. And remember, these statements were made just within a couple of weeks after Summer went missing.
I don't want to think she's dead.
GB has a question. Why wasn't Dawn ever arrested for child abuse of Summer and the boys? Great question. All I can figure is that it wasn't pressed by Hawkins County, CPS, and they signed their rights over. Now, I was accused of making up a story about Robin trying to be a foster mom. Dawn's confirmed that now. So it wasn't me making it up. Like I said, I don't run in this circle, so I don't know. I don't know. I asked a question. Has anyone else heard this? Several other people said, yeah, we've heard it. We've heard it. But they've signed their rights over. In my opinion, allegedly, it's so they could evade charges.
But it's a possibility.
Well, I'll see her in the resurrection. As long as I keep the commandments and I do what I'm supposed to do, I'll see her in the commandments. If that's the case,
My biggest fear is, her being tormented or locked in a dungeon or basement or something.
Statistically speaking, I mean, there's a good chance she's already dead if you look at it statistically.
These were the most disturbing things said by this man which came to my mind. But sadly, this list could go on forever. We don't know if he had anything to do with his daughter's disappearance, but he sure doesn't look innocent in my opinion. What do you think? Whoever's guilty, let's just pray Summer gets the justice she deserves.
And that's what anybody wants. For Summer, for Sebastian, for any of the missing children, because we got too many. Too many. Poppy Red Mustang will love that name. In my opinion, the key word is resurrection. Now, we're talking about, now I do know that Dawn has been encouraged to file a protective order against certain creators. Not a lawyer, not a judge, but it's been over 2 years. I'm going to assume that bucket won't hold water. There is a family that took a different route when their son murdered post-mortem and after a trial was exploited. Now, this isn't about going after another creator. We all make mistakes. This woman could have thought she was doing the right thing. But the people that were in her Patreon and different areas, they said some horrible things about viewing the murdered body of Gannon Stout. I'm not going to talk about Gannon's case today. However, Seth, Katie, Chris, Dawn, Candace can take a page out of the Stout book and understand that there are other avenues. The he said, she said, rumors, pointing fingers. Have you seen this? Have you watched this? It gets absolutely worse. And I love the way that Cinema Shogun covered this. I do. And some people suffered some crazy, crazy repercussions for this.
You're crazy for thinking that, Cinema Shogun. You've taken it too far. You've taken it too far. And I'm like, no, I know exactly what I'm talking about. And I feel like a lot of the people, not a lot, some people in the true crime community, I feel like they are perverts and weirdos that kind of get off on seeing the horrible things that are done to kids. And now, with this recent situation that has come up with Zav Girl, I think this is the proof that a lot of you all may need that this is going on within the true crime community. For those of you all who don't know, I made a video about it last night. You can go check it out. I had to sleep on it because if I said everything I wanted to say last night.
And I think we've all been there. This was put in our Discord, and I do everything, okay? I blew it off, and I was like, oh, well, it was already in the trial. I didn't realize what was really going on. That's the reason Kat will have to get a hold of me and say, Ness, I need you to sit down and pay attention and understand what's really going on, okay? Pat K does the music breaks. Somebody has to get my attention. Not because I don't care, just because I usually think that this internet stuff is just internet stuff. This was much bigger. This actually made the national news.
You wouldn't be watching this video right now. I would have been kicked off of YouTube, okay? But there were some things that I found out last night that it really got my blood boiling. And there were details that I left out of the video that I made about Zav Girl yesterday. There were details that I purposely left out because I felt myself getting so worked up that I knew that I would say something that would get me kicked off the platform. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to sit down, I'm going to cool off, and I'm going to address this tomorrow. So let's address this. Now, I was saying that a lot of these people in the true crime community, a lot of these prominent figures like Rose and others, they not only don't really care about these kids and what happens to these kids, they support people doing horrible things to kids while they're still alive. You know what I mean? Don't sit here and pretend that you care about a kid who's had horrible sexual things done to them and it's been, and stuff. I can't really go into detail on YouTube, but don't sit here and pretend you care about that and then sit here.
Not to interrupt Cinema Shogun, but Baby Son Forever said Katie equals Candace. You know what? I'm so glad someone said it today, so I didn't have to. You have the moms that are at home with other things to do while their children go missing. But we're supposed to look at Seth. We're supposed to look at Nasty Dawn. We're supposed to look at Chris. We're supposed to look at the Bowersocks. How about the women that were home? Thank you. I'm so glad you said it, so I didn't have to.
And openly support grown men in dresses, shaking their balls and exposing themselves in front of kids because it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. But anyway, there's a lot of perverts out there. And Zav Girl has opened the door for a lot of them. And she's a disgusting human being within herself. But, and I feel it. I feel it coming on. I'm going to try to be polite here, ladies and gentlemen. As you all know, for those of you all who do not, there was a recent case about an 11-year-old boy who was brutally murdered by his stepmother, I believe. I didn't follow this case.
I think one of the first times you guys heard me totally lose it is when we were listening to Gannon's trial. I would get to the end of it, the end of the day, and just bawl my eyes out. I couldn't handle it. And again, I'm circling back. I hope Seth, Katie, Chris, yes, Don, Candace, and Grandis understand that there's other avenues you can take when these things happen. I promise there is.
I didn't cover this case, but it's the case of Gannon Stouch. And if I'm pronouncing that last name wrong, I sincerely apologize. But I never covered this case. I don't know much about the case. But this little kid was, I guess, brutally murdered by his stepmother. Zav Girl took it upon herself to charge people money to come and look at the autopsy photos of this child. Okay? She's literally charging people online to look at photos of a dead kid who was brutally murdered. But it gets worse than that. I know you're probably thinking, well, how can it get worse than that? It gets worse than that.
I reached out. I was told about this by our good friend Lisa A. Okay, in Discord. And as people will tell you, I was just like, well, we already saw it in the trial. What's the big deal? I didn't realize there was a FOIA and people were actually nitpicking his body. I didn't know it. Okay, that's my fault. 100%. 100%. I reached out to Jules True Crime Reactions, and collectively, we lost our damn minds. I'm going to chalk it up to a mistake, a lapse in judgment, because I don't want anyone's life ruined over misjudgment. I will say this was a biggie. It was horrific. When the comments started being circulated, I just thought, what if that was my son? What if it was your son? Again, I'm circling back. There's other avenues people can take. Look at that. There's my girl right there. You can be a good cop. I'm fine being the bad cop. And you are a bad cop. Let me tell you what, I see her getting people's asses and I'm like, woo, I'm glad I'm on the right side of Red River. It's a Texas, Oklahoma joke, by the way.
That. Okay. All right. Oh, man. Let me go ahead and cut the video and I'll be right back. Okay. I got it together. I am trying to bite my tongue here as hard as possible. I have had to stop this video half a dozen times because I'm telling you, I am the type of person that will go the fuck off. I promise you I will. You have not seen anything yet. I am telling you, I don't care how nice of a guy you think I am a nice guy, but I will fucking snap in a heartbeat when it comes to stuff like this. But anyways, not only did this disgusting creature, Zav Girl, literally sell pictures of a dead kid online, charging people, hey, come pay me, join my Patreon so you can see pictures of this dead kid. I guess she also did a video or a little live stream where she zooms in on all of the parts of Gannon's body, this 11-year-old boy's body. She zooms in on his genitals. Zav girl zoomed in on this dead kid's genitals, and then goes so far as with her with her stupid, confused looking face. What is this? What is this? What are these strings? All this bitch does is sit here and act confused 24/7. And then she starts pointing out, what are these strings? They were maggots. This woman is sitting online.
They did. It's supposed to be educational. And they're looking at his little bobo. And they're like, what are all these strings? And people in the chat are going, oh, I think they're maggots. Oh my God. Let's take a second and thank our friend Angel P, but I'm not going to play the umbrella music. No. We're going to sing her a happy belated birthday. True story, last week when I got so sick, I tried to check myself out of the hospital. My husband got a hold of my girl Angel P, and she said, I'm going to be so pissed at her if she leaves the hospital. I started sending her my lab work and everything, and she goes, oh, girl, they found a blood clot. Now, my daughter-in-law, who is a medical doctor, goes, I think they're looking for something. I'm like, well, no shit. Maybe it's Colonel Mustard in the ballroom with the candlestick.
Selling pictures of a dead kid, selling a live stream. Hey, pay to watch my video where I zoom in on a dead kid's genitals and I sit here and act confused while I show you the maggots that are crawling through this dead kid's body. That is what Zav girl did. And I am telling you right now, I do not know where in the hell all of these people come from in the true crime community, but where I'm from, this is something that will get you chin checked on site. If someone did something like this that lives around me, it would be on site. Okay? That's how we operate where I'm from. You do some gross stuff like this, and you get seen out of the grocery store, the gas station, the damn Chuck E. Cheese, wherever the hell your dry ass lips take you, you would get chin checked on site. On site.
Wanna cuddle. Crime Lines and Lies, I will probably be blocked for asking this question. No, you won't. Why can't we ask questions? But why does no one question Tyler Vaughn? He was the one home with Michael when he went missing. Because he's been cleared and there's 4 suspects. And in 20 minutes, there's no way he could kill his son, dispose of a body, clean up a crime scene, and be seen outside looking for his son. I mean, Tyler likes Batman, but he's not Batman. And now that Brandy's starting to feel better, we will be talking more about Michael Vaughn.
This lady is sitting here. Oh, look, let me zoom in on this kid's. Oh, I don't even want to say it. But anyways, she is literally sitting here zooming on this kid's genitals, talking about the maggots that are crawling through this kid's dead body. And you want to know the type of people who are watching? You want to know the type of comments these people are making? It takes a real sick, freaking weirdo to want to pay to see pictures of a dead kid. You want to know the comments they were making? I want you to see this. And this is why I told you I just had to wait. I said I had to sleep. After seeing this comment, I had to sleep on it. Because if I made this video yesterday, my channel would no longer exist. And I promise you, it is taking all of the strength that I have in my body to try to just calmly run this information across you. And forgive me, I am sorry. Usually I am more put together. Usually, you know, I'm more, I don't know. I know that I'm kind of all over the place in this video because this literally has me distraught. This literally has me enraged to the point that I don't even want to talk about it anymore. You know, and when I say I don't want to talk about it, it means I'll just leave that to your imagination. Anyway, this is a comment that someone left. His pee-pee looks like marshmallow. Ha 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 ha.
Okay, right there for me, I would have gotten rid of that person. Okay? I wouldn't have antagonized it. Does anyone blame the Stout family for going legal and taking action against Patreon at all? This is not about Zav Girl. Again, she could have easily have missed the comment. It happens. I'm telling you right now. So the legal action that people are encouraging Dawn to do isn't going to hold any water. I can tell you why. Because it's been too long. Okay? Seth, Katie, and Chris, whatever their beef is, there's other ways to do it. This little boy was brutalized. And people are making fun.
I'll just leave that to your imagination. Anyway, this is a comment that someone left. His pee-pee looks like marshmallow. Ha 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 ha. His pee-pee looks like a marshmallow. Ha 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 ha. So Zav Girl is sitting online with whatever freaking idiot decided to give this woman $3. I honestly, if you watch Zav Girl's content, who in their right mind would be like, you know what? I want more of this. I know I got 8 hours straight of her looking confused at the camera while doing and saying absolutely nothing of value. But you know what? I need more. I need more of these confused faces. But Zav Girl and her little minions are on Patreon making fun of a dead kid's penis. Look at his pee-pee. It looks like a marshmallow. Now this takes me all back around full circle to what I was talking about a moment ago. People thought it was outlandish when I was telling you all that a lot of these people in the true crime community, they're perverts, they're weirdos, they're groomers, they don't care about kids. In fact,
and I'm going to agree with him. I'm going to agree with him. Because there's a lot of sickos out there. There's a lot of sickos out there. I had someone, not going to say who, message me wanting to know if I had the actual pictures of the beautiful kids that were killed in Idaho. And I'm like, no, I don't. Well, you're covering it a lot. I figured you must have pictures of them. Well, there's pictures all over. They've been on Dateline. They've been on 48 Hours. What are you talking about? I mean, you can instantly Google them, is what I'm thinking to myself. He wanted pictures of mangled bodies. There's a lot of sickos out there. And that's the reason when people come after me and they're like, oh, your mod just muted me. Your mod did this. Your mod, listen, we don't want no sickos around here. What we're trying to do is keep names out there. And we can't do it all. There's no way. There's not enough time in the day. There's no way. And don't get me wrong. We've had some we've had some roosters in the hen house. Okay, we have. And they're slippery. They are. Kimberly Mann said, how do you know when you're muted? Girlfriend, that's something you don't even have to worry about.
They support people who victimize kids. If you support a lot of that weird stuff that's going on in our modern day society, then you are supporting people who victimize kids. You are helping and aiding predators who want to prey on kids. You are making it easier for these chomos, these pedos, to prey on kids, period.
That's why I am so strict with people. Please, please, please do not put pictures of your children up. Please don't. Yes, they're cute. Yes, they're in the bathtub. Yes, they're splashing. Yes, of course, they're cute as can be. But there is someone out there that has a perverted sense of it. And I have a feeling that is what's going on in different communities with Sebastian and especially Summer. Okay? But how do you spread awareness without putting pictures out? How? You just have to use your common sense. And when people say crazy things or they're wanting information that seems a little off kilter, you kick them off. Nobody wants that shit around here.
And a lot of the true crime community hates me because I call that shit out. But right here, what do you think is happening? Who do you think would pay to look at pictures of a dead kid? Freaking weirdos, perverts, chomos, sitting on here. Oh my God, look at it. Look at this dead kid's pee-pee. It's like a marshmallow. Whoa, whoa. That's the type of person Zav Girl is. That's the type of company Zav Girl keeps. And like I said, this goes to show that you maybe thought I was crazy when I told you about these people. I wasn't crazy. I know exactly what the hell I be talking about. I do not come on YouTube or any other form of social media just to run my mouth for no reason. I do not talk out the side of my neck. When I say something, it's because I mean it and because most likely I have evidence to back it.
Well, and I think most of us can agree that's horrible to exploit a child. Now, I've been accused of that. I've been accused. I've been like, people have said, you have no evidence these people have done anything to their children. I hear it mostly about Don and Candace Wells because the fact that they have lost children in 3 different states isn't enough for them. The fact that Don Wells has openly said he essayed his sisters is not enough for them. I didn't investigate this. These are his words. These are his words. So what are we supposed to do to be better people, yet advocate? We damn sure don't run to other creators and say, someone said something about me. Someone said something about me. That just muddies the water. I think about what Landon said, who is Gannon's mom. I think often about what Brandy Neal says. But I'm going I'm going to end it with Landon.
Hi. So I'm just getting off of work and just had a lot of moments and things to happen today, and it just hasn't been coincident. And then I've had a heavy heart, and today it's just been the question, what if? And so I've been thinking about what if. What and if are two different words. They're not threatening when they're used alone. So, what's up? What are you doing today? If I go to the doctor, am I going to be okay? But when those two words appear together, what if? What if I never put my son on the airplane? It can be something that can haunt you for the rest of your life. So I'm sitting here trying to find a way to turn something positive. I've never, I'm an athlete. I've always been a positive person. So I've learned a lot from this. So what if is really left up in our hands. It can be non-threatening, or it can be something positive. What if us as humans could just change? What if us as humans can do something to just make us smile? So it doesn't really have to be haunting or life-threatening. What can I do today? What can I do in this lifetime to make a difference? And it may be something so silly. I don't know if you've ever got that thought or that feeling in your stomachs like, oh my gosh, I feel really good today. Something's great's going to happen and I can change something. And then something someone does or something someone says, it just really hurts you. So what if we can change that? What if we can just ignore the negative thoughts? And what if one person can make it viral? So I will tell you a story on a plane. And I'm not a profiler by no means at all. I love everyone and continue to love people that say wrong things, because we never know what someone's going through. By no means, we never know what something has happened to that person, and we set judgment before them. So I was on the airplane and I met a gentleman prior to who was really nice, and he didn't speak English. And we know we all have to wear a face mask. Mine's in here somewhere. So you really can't read emotions. I'm totally a different person when you look at me like this. And this person looked like the same person that I sat beside on the airplane. And so me and my daughter, our seats were assigned across from the aisle. And so she was supposed to be sitting here. So I asked him, and thinking that he didn't speak English. And I said, sir, can we please switch seats? And I couldn't hear him. And I said, oh, you don't speak English. And he got really upset with me. And I could have jumped down his throat, got an attitude, but not explain the situation to him. And I sat there and I pondered a little bit. And this man had a bad day. I could have just jumped down his throat and it could have been bad. But it turned the situation into something positive. What if we can change? What if it starts with you? So I love you all. I don't know where this came from. I'm just driving from work and it just hit me. So what if it starts with you? I love you all, and I thank you for everything. It means the world.
I see you said, so now we can add another state. Dawn and Candace had their kids removed in Wisconsin, Utah, Arkansas, and Tennessee. You're so right. However, people want to keep saying they haven't done anything wrong. I'm not saying that they have anything to do with Summer's disappearance. It could be pure negligence. She could have honestly just wandered off and never been found with the biggest search in Tennessee history. It doesn't seem plausible to me, but that's the truth. And hey, if Dog the Bounty Hunter, I keep saying Dawn, wants to dig in, he's got a lot to do. He's got a lot of things to catch up on. Children cannot continue to be victimized, though. Look at this. And I don't like to cross cases. I don't like to cross cases, but it had to be done today.
Don't you see him trying to climb a mountain here? Don't you see him trying to climb a mountain here? Don't you see him trying to climb a mountain here? Don't you see him trying to climb a mountain here? Don't you see him trying to climb a mountain here?
Well, he's climbed his mountain, and there's justice. His justice has been served. Won't bring him back. It won't bring him back. Just like whatever justice eventually will be served in other cases will not bring a child back. We're not here to beat up on parents. What we do, or I do, you guys can't say anything about it. So we talk about what they have said themselves. We talk about the facts that are put out. I had a crazy email when I was in the hospital about the way I've been picking on Jen Soto. Well, you can't tell me in all these years she didn't know that her daughter was being violated. You just can't tell me that. No, it can't happen. So you guys have a great rest of your Monday. I'm sorry for the drama-filled show. I understand how some of you feel about it, and that's okay. We can agree to disagree, and at the end of the day, still be friends. So I'll see you back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. And again, if I miss any of your messages or anything, I'm just not 100% yet. But I will get there. I promise I will. It's going to take me a little while, but I will be there. I promise. So please do not think I'm ignoring you if I don't reply or if I miss something. It's just, it is what it is right now. You guys are the absolute best, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Love you. Thank you, Mod Squad. I know it was a rough show, but you guys are the best.